Hello. Hey everyone. Welcome to the Diary Club. Hey Holly. How's everyone doing? Good evening to you too. Hey Rihanna. Oh, I just heard a kitty. Claude's been at our ankles lately. Hey Penny. Ian just got home from a work trip today, and Claude's been like at his feet following him around. I thought I just heard him walking, but it's just my blanket, I think. How is everybody? Yeah, he's so cute. He's they both, him and Basil, have gotten so much more affectionate, and it's so sweet. They were such scared little kitties when we first got them. I'm good. How are you, Rihanna? I feel like I say your name different every time. Rihanna. You probably told me which one is right, and I'll always get it wrong. It's one of those things. Work has been nuts. It's the lead up to our winter break. We have a really long winter break this year, which is nice. But man, this week has felt like it was a month long. Any other teachers out there? Because I'm sure you could relate. Luckily, I'm an art teacher, so it's kind of like a little bit more low key, but still, the kids come to my class and they think it's, okay, Rihanna with the hard A. Rihanna. Yeah, they haven't been bad. They've just been, the energy level has been very high. And the volume level. I've had a headache. I'm going to be on only for about an hour today because Ian just got back and we're going to go get some dinner at 7. He's eating a snack, though. That should hold him over. At least until 7. And then I looked ahead. I made the next live for next week. Because I was thinking, like, oh my god, wait, is Christmas on Thursday? It's not. Christmas is Wednesday. So I'm going to go live on my normal Thursday, the 26th, next week at 6. And I might come on between, tomorrow and the new year. I might pop on during the day because I am going to be home from work. I'll be a little bit less busy than usual. So maybe I'll come on for doing some research or something like that. All right, I'm going to get started since I have to log off early. Thank you for the follow. Oh, speaking of follows, I hit 1,000 followers on YouTube from you guys last week, so thank you for that. I'm so excited. 1,000 subscribers. I need to do more on YouTube, but if TikTok gets banned like it's supposed to, maybe, then YouTube will be where I go. And before I even start, if anyone wasn't here last week was a momentous occasion. I wasn't expecting it at all. It was a complete surprise, but we've been talking about how Ralph and Georgia, they're going to get married in December, and I assumed they were already engaged because it's October in the 1903 Diaries, and I was like, okay, well, they probably already got engaged, and maybe it was the year before, and we didn't get to read that entry or something. Because they hang out all the time. They write letters to each other all the time. They're obviously very close, but they hadn't mentioned, like, specifically being engaged. Well, I was wrong. They got engaged. So, Ralph, let's see, this is Ralph's entries. It was a couple days before or the day before? Hold on, I gotta skim. When did he buy the ring? Oh, that's engineer ring. Here, October 12th. Okay, so it was like, okay, we figured this out. I don't think he actually bought the ring the day that he took the $50 out of his bank account, but it's about $1,700 now. So, good. You went and rewatched it. That's good. I'll read the entries anyways too. I'll probably be reading them every single time we come on because this is like the coolest thing that's happened in the whole diary. On October 12th, he got up at 7, went to breakfast, studied until 9, and went to town and took out $50 to get a ring for Georgia. So when I read that the first time, I thought, oh, he bought a ring for Georgia that day, but I don't think he did. He ended up, he's a very practical man, as we all know, and he bought the ring the same day that he asked her. A few days later, he went to go visit her in Waterloo, because he's working in Chicago, so he went back home. And it says, arrived at Waterloo at 8. Oh, sorry, you guys can't see the whole thing. Got breakfast and talked to Georgia all morning. In PM, went to Mr. Newton's. That's funny. A lot of people do tell me I look like Kristen Stewart. I started doing diary videos a few years ago, if that's a legit question. I get Kristen Stewart and Elvis's granddaughter. What's her name? Riley Keough. Or Keough. Is it Keough? I always say it wrong. He went to her dad's office and asked for his consent to marry Georgia. Then he went back to the house and asked Mrs. Newton, which I think is so sweet. And then he went and bought the ring. So he's like, oh, I gotta make sure it's okay first, then I'll go buy the ring. He's very practical. He didn't buy it first. He wanted to be like, oh, well, if he says no, then I'm not gonna waste my $50. And then he writes, took a walk with Georgia, came back and gave her the ring. So practical, matter of fact. And then Georgia's account of it was, Ralph came and visited all morning, went downtown, helped with dinner and dishes. Lovely day, but windy. Visited all afternoon, helped with supper and dishes. R and I went downtown a while. Went to bed at 11:15. And then she just casually adds on, we announced our engagement and got the loveliest diamond ring. It's just funny. I was saying, like, why she gets engaged? Like, that's a very exciting occasion, right? And it's like the last little thing she mentions in her entry after she talks about how windy it was. Like, things were different back then, but it was cute. It was cool that we got to read him buying the ring for her. So anyways, hi Nikki. I had seen that and I never said hi. Yeah, maybe he had a ring waiting for him, like he pre-ordered it and went to go pick it up. Possibly. To be fair, it's really windy. Yeah, it must have been like a really windy day. But it's just funny. Okay, so October 18th. This is Georgia's diary. Got up at 8. See if she mentions it. We stopped there on purpose because we were like, oh, that's a great stopping point. That was the best thing to read. Helped with work. Visited all morning. After dinner, R and I, that's Ralph. Ralph is pictured up in the corner there. Oh, thank you, Simo. Yeah, that picture up in the corner is little Ralph. That picture is from the same year that the diary was written, so he looks really young, but he's actually 22, I think, or 23? 22. Okay, after dinner, R and I took Hector, that is her horse, and went, how romantic, hold on, and went to see Dry Run Sewer. Oh. The happy couple went to go see the sewer. Then took a drive and got, hi Molly, back at 6. Helped with supper, dishes. Yeah, they had mentioned Dry Run Sewer before. I think it's actually in the, we have this thing going. This is all the entries we've read so far. And this is on my website if anyone wants to see it, but yeah, what is this? So went to engineering. Okay, so Ralph made a presentation for 30 minutes about the Dry Run Sewer in February. So there's like that's a big deal, I guess. That's funny. Now I thought there was another mention of it. Yeah, here. Okay. They went to the Dry Run Sewer on May 27th because it was a lot of rain, right? Yeah, see the high... Oh, no. He went to see high water and also to Dry Run Sewer. So, I don't think that has to do with the high waters. Or maybe it did. Running and repairing sewer levels. Yeah, I think he's doing some engineering work on it or something. Maybe that's continuing. Actually, let's check something. Let's go to newspapers. Right, I know. He proposed to me at the sewer. In true Ralph fashion. Okay. Dry run sewer. October 1903. Is that's the one where they had the sewer? That's the sewer they had the big event in, I think. They had like a big party in the sewer. I'm not making it up either. The dinner, yeah. And they had a bunch of people and the whole like long table was set up in the sewer as they were opening it or something. Okay, dry run sewer. And that was, her dad was working on that too. We need Waterloo, Iowa. See if anything was going on. Ooh. This is the 18th, this is the 15th. So this probably is whatever. Oh, William Horrobin. The contractor who is now completing the big dry run sewer. Okay, so it's something that's been ongoing. Thank you for the follow, Simo. Hope I said it right. Yeah, and actually, just mentioned her dad. This is her dad in the newspaper. So this picture, which we already had, I didn't realize this was from the same article that I was just looking at. So, yeah, this is the banquet. And I was really hoping that Ralph had attended the banquet, but he didn't. We looked ahead or something, or whenever it was, we looked at the entry and he didn't go. I just love thinking about how Ralph kept all the diaries together and now we're able to read them. Yeah, I wish we had more. They were also, I didn't buy them, but someone donated them to us and he had gotten them from an estate clean out. So I don't know. I feel like just like with my 1917 diary, there has to be more. Like, there's no way that Ralph kept a diary in 1901 and then 1903 and then 1904 and 1907, but not 1902, you know? So there are more out there, and it's sad that like they can't be all together because it would be so cool to be able to complete the story, but we've got quite a bit. So this is the biggest series that we've read through so far. We are on, this is the third and fourth diary of this series, and we still have 2 more. The Lindbergh trial in Flemington, New Jersey was huge. Was that in, what year was that in? Was that in, did I miss that that's here or something? Or is there a conversation going on that I didn't read? Oh, around this time? Okay. Actually, I was listening to, there's a podcast called My Grandma's Diaries, and they also have a TikTok where they like make videos about it, but they read through the diaries on a podcast, and they were talking about the Lindbergh. Oh no, that's Lindbergh baby. Not the same thing? No, that's later. The Lindbergh baby, because their diary was from like the 30s or something. I don't know. The trial is about the baby? Oh, okay, so it is. Interesting. Yes, but was the baby found? Because why would they be talking about that? The diary that they read through was from the Great Depression. Oh, okay. Interesting. I'll have to go back and listen to it, because I know they had mentioned it. I just can't remember why. Yes, he had Georgia's 1895 diary. And I always have it in my drawer, but it's upstairs. It's like really small. It's like this big. But her handwriting is so beautiful that we could actually read it. Hi, Grandma. Okay, so we need to figure out more about this dry run sewer. I guess they're just working on it, but okay, the banquet. Maybe, okay, the banquet is coming up. No, it already happened. I don't know. Yeah, it did happen, or they at least advertised it. So the sewer banquet, besides being a success from every standpoint, is also fulfilling the expectations of the public-spirited persons who saw also thousands of dollars in legitimate advertising in the scheme. Oh, no, that's okay. That's okay. Okay, so it makes sense then. No, the Lindbergh baby is later, right? Okay, thank you. Because, no, and it's okay. Do not apologize. I'm constantly in the wrong decade. Okay, so Did I finish this? Not yet. Helped with supper, dishes. R and I went up to Grandpa's. And they were at church, so we took a walk. R went away on the 2:30 train in night, and I sat up till he went. That must have been sad after they got engaged for him to go back to Chicago. Clear. Got up. This is Ralph's. Got up at 8. Shaved. Took bath. And ate. Oh, hey, Aoife. Hope you've been good too. And ate breakfast. I have a student named Aoife now. I don't know if I told you that, but I was so happy because I knew how to pronounce her name from learning from you. Talked with Georgia. I hear Chicago and immediately think of Trina Vega from Victorious. Does she sing that song? Is that why? Talked with Georgia till dinner time. After dinner, we went for a drive and got back about 6. After supper, talked with her till 2:20. Crazy how the world works. I bet she's gorgeous. All Aoifes are. Well, she's 6, but she's cute. After supper, talked with her till 2:20 a.m. Planning for ourselves. They must be like planning their life together. That's so cute. Okay, wait. That is, okay, I thought that was Georgia writing because I feel like that sounds like something she would say, but I got confused. But no, that is Ralph. So back to Georgia. October 19th. She's writing really lightly. Got up at 6:50. Helped with the work. Finished a sofa pillow and nearly another. Helped with dinner and dishes. Not capital. Served a while. No, sewed. I always think it says served. It's sewed. And I always go, oh, no, why did I think that? It just kind of looks like it says served. And she talks about dishes all the time. Mama and I went up to Grandpa's a while. Helped with supper and dishes. Went to P.O. Thanks for the follow. Raina Learning Center. P.O. with Mrs. Weeks. She's been mentioning her so much. And walked over the river and back. Worked a while. Went to bed at 10:30. Move this around so TikTok knows I'm here. Okay. Ralph. All of my new friends following me on TikTok, make sure you go to my YouTube page too, because TikTok may be no more very soon, and that's where I'm going if it goes away. I'll continue doing the lives just on TikTok instead. I mean on YouTube instead of here. All right, Monday the 19th. Left on, this is Ralph, 2:30 a.m. train for Chicago. Arrived at 9:35. Went to room and got ready for 11:30 class. Ugh. In steam engine. So that answers the question. He is running a class about steam engines because he always says, like, we went to steam engine. I'm like, what are you talking about? He teaches a course in steam engine. This is funny because this is what he did when he was in college, like taking his own classes. He'd take an overnight train back to school and go to class that morning, and he's doing that now as a professor too. They will get married in December. I think it's December 23rd 1903, so that's coming up. And they just got engaged 2 days prior. There's an entry up here when Ralph went and bought the ring and asked for her parents' permission, and it's really cool. It's so exciting that we finally got to read it, because I was just assuming they were engaged and that we just hadn't happened to read the entry. With the entry I thought was before this diary that they got engaged, but no. Oh, Claude. Claude just did a zoom. Okay. It's so cool. You can tell what she's saying. What, that I can read it? Or just like the fact that we're able to read it at all, like read her story. Okay, got ready for 11:30 class in steam engine. After recitation, came back and ate lunch and laid down and slept till 1:45. You know what, too? His train ride back to Chicago is way longer, I bet, than going back to his college. Felt rather tired after trip and had a headache. Wonder if he's sick. Went to AIT. Yeah, I have a hard time telling what certain words are. Yes, it takes a long time to get used to the handwriting, and the only reason I can read it fast is just because we've been reading these people's entries for a long time, and you just, after a while, you catch on to patterns. But it is, like, when you start reading a new diary, it is tough to decipher it at first. Why is he teaching engines when he's a surveyor? He's teaching, like, engineering stuff, I think. So I think maybe he gets the whatever classes need to be taught, because he's just the assistant professor. He's the low man on the totem pole. Went to AIT at 2. And got back about 4:30. Oh. And wrote a letter to Georgia. He's not even away from her for 24 hours, and he writes her a letter. After supper, talked with Ganser and Howard till 9 and went to bed. We have a picture of Ganser. Here he is. Yep. That's Ganser. He went to college with him, and now I guess he's working with him. Okay. Tab back over to Georgia. 20th. Got up at 6:40. After breakfast, helped with washing and dinner. She calls lunch dinner and dishes. What did you say about the engagement? Oh, they got engaged. So on the 17th, Ralph proposed to her and gave her a diamond ring that he spent $50 on, which is like $1,700 nowadays. Very Harry Potter adjacent. I'm missing the, you'll have to tell me what you're talking about, because I'm curious. What is Harry Potter adjacent about it? I want to know. What was I saying? Oh, we're going to go back up to the 17th, because that's when he asked for her dad's permission and her mom's permission too, which is cool in 1903. And then he went and bought the ring. Oh, the steam engine. Then so he asked for her parents' permission, he bought the ring, and then he took her for a walk and proposed to her. So sweet. Back to Georgia. After breakfast, helped with washing and dishes. No, washing and dinner and dishes. Lovely day. Well, she's in a good mood. But not at the sewer. Yeah, thank God. Wrote a letter. I think that would have been so funny, though. He proposed to me in front of the dry run sewer. Done some sewing. Went downtown and to courthouse on an errand. I wonder what errand. Maybe she's getting some marriage license paperwork. Who knows? Oh, on an errand. hitched up, took Mrs. Weeks, and we went over the river to Joe Clark's. After a bill and got it. Helped with supper dishes. Don't still... Do we... Wait, hold on. Do you still need to have a marriage license now? Is that what the question is, Deb? You do. Yeah. Helped with supper dishes. Worked on fancy work all evening. Went to bed at 10:30. Oh, you want to know a fun fact? The day after we read that entry about Ralph and Georgia getting engaged, one of my friends got engaged. So I think that's Ralph and Georgia giving some good luck. Sorry, I think I missed it. Oh yeah, Georgia said, she said how they, Ralph took her out for a walk and then he proposed to her. Thank you for the follow, Mort. Thank you for the follow, Wendy. And Katie, thanks guys. Make sure you follow me on YouTube too, because that's my plan B if we have to leave. Okay, I'm lost. I did Georgia on the 20th, now I'm on Ralph. Got up at 7. Went to breakfast. Came back and shaved and went to 9:30 class in surveying. Studied in CE, civil engineering room. I think we decided that's what that means. 9:30 to 11:30. Thank you, Dad Man. Yeah, it looks like he did cross out the lines later. We'll have to see what he decided not to say. And something to class in steam engine. Thank you, Wendy. Okay, studied in the civil engineering room, 9:30 to 11:30, and shot? No. Something to class. And start to class? I guess. In steam engine. 11:30 to 12:30. Went to lunch. And wrote several letters in my room. Oh, maybe probably to announce his engagement, maybe. One to the folks, yep, announcing my engagement. Oh, and he's not going to list the other ones. All right. Went to AIT. That's the Armor Institute of Technology. We have a picture of that place, too. That's what it looked like. That's where he is teaching. I was going to say professing, but that's where he's teaching. At 2 and came back at 4. I'm assuming one of those letters was to Georgia. Read till supper time. Okay, so he originally said Ganser came up after supper and stayed a while. But he crossed that out, so I guess Ganser didn't come. Went to bed at 9. What does that say? I do not know. 11? I have no idea. After supper, went out and visited W.O. Coffins, or Colfins. He can't have gone to bed at 9 if he got back at 11, though, so I'm going to say maybe 11. Thank you for the follow, Lena. After supper, went out and visited. W-O. It looks like Colfins. What do you guys think? They are so interesting. Thanks, Nash. And thank you, Allison. Colburn? Ah, yes, Colburn. I'm going to put both options, but I do see that definitely. Colbert. I don't see a T at the end, but now I do actually see the C-O-L for sure. And maybe the B, but it could be an F too. His F up here doesn't have the other loop. Actually, yeah, this is his B, and that looks very similar. W-O probably means it's probably a first name. Like a first and a middle name. Ah, Colburn. We're gonna go with Colburn. Got back at 11. Okay, so now should we look? I don't know if I saved that AIT yearbook. Because we were looking for Ralph in it and we never found it, but I wonder if I could find it. Armor Institute of Technology. What were you looking at? The 1903 yearbook or the 1904? They have both. Okay, let's see if we can... Oh, that's all collections. I want to search. Isn't this so cool that you can just see the yearbook from this place in 1903? I'm just typing it into Google Docs. Oh, I can hardly see it. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Okay, we can search inside. I don't think Slippy was in either of them, which is sad. But Colburn. No matches in 1903. Let's see the 1904. Because it might be the yearbook of the class of 1904, not the actual year. I don't really know how they were done. I know that they have one on here. Hold on. 31, 20. I saw it. Here. Let's see if Colburn... I mean, he might not be associated with the Armor Institute, but no matches found. Let's just make sure that it's working. Yeah, it is. Okay. Just searched a random name that I thought maybe some people would be named in 1903. There wasn't a Slippy in here either, right? No. Now, what about... I don't think I tried 1905 just for the heck of it. Oh, whoops. I just searched everything and it said nothing, so... Nope. Okay. Well, anyways. Did I try that already? Yeah. So he might not be... Either he's not a professor also, or he, yeah, could try an alternate spelling. What did I have the first time? Colfins? Colburn sounds way more like a name, though. Yeah, he could just not be listed in here, or he could be not there. All right. Anyway, so I'll write his name down. We can keep going. Colburn. I do want to look up Mrs. Weeks also. I wrote her name down last week and I never looked. Colburn. W-O. Colburn. 1903. Oh, no, we know it's 1903, obviously. October 20th. Now, I wonder, maybe just for the heck of it, since we have W-O, maybe we can look it up here. I don't know, though, if he's even from there or what. W-O Colburn. Colbans. Yes, the engagement. Emily, were you there last time? Because if not, I'll read it to you. Colbans. I can't remember. It was all a blur. No? Okay, let me go back then. Emily's a diary detective. She gets a special reading. So we'll start with Ralph. First of all, Ralph bought the ring on October 12th. Or no, sorry, he didn't buy the ring. He said he was taking out $50 to buy the ring, and that's equal to like $1,700 now. And then on the 17th, he went to visit her, and he took her. Well, first, before he apologized. What am I talking about? I'm like reading and trying to talk. Before he not apologized and what's the word? Proposed. He went and asked Georgia's dad if it was okay, and then he also talked to her mom, which I thought was very ahead of the time. I'm very proud of him for that. And then he proposed to her. He bought the ring the same day and took her out and proposed to her. And she said yes. And Georgia talked about getting her diamond ring. So sweet. Can you type in Cole and see if anything shows up? Yes, that's a good idea. It's a great idea. All right, well, can I make this bigger? Yes. It's so quiet. I mean, what am I talking about? It's so small, not quiet. Having a stroke. Okay, that's Colorado. That is not what we're looking for. Here, college. Nope. College. Yeah, there's no call, C-O-L, at all in the 1903 one. Let's try this one. C-O-L-B. Yeah, maybe. And this one, college. I'll try C-O-L-B. I think if there were any C-O-L-B, it would show up in the C-O-L also, but nope, nothing. Okay. We can dig deeper. Maybe he just lives in the town nearby or something. Okay. Went to bed at 10:30. We already got her. Now we're going to Ralph. We did him. Yep. Now we're going back to Georgia. Okay. Georgia, October 21st. Got up at 6:40. So specific. Ironed nearly all forenoon. Thanks for the follows, guys. Follow me on YouTube too, because if TikTok goes away, that's where I'm going. Served some, sewed. I make that mistake every time. Sewed some and helped with dinner and dishes. Lovely day. Mama and I went downtown and done shopping. Sewed. Helped with supper and dishes. Worked on bags all evening. Went to bed at 10:15. I wonder if she's going to visit him. Worked on bags. Hi, kitty. Claude's meowing. Thanks for the follows. Follow me on YouTube too. We just hit 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, bags. I don't know what they mean by that, but did anyone else see anything other than bags? I couldn't see anything like other word. But if anyone saw anything else, let me know. October 21st. Clear. Got up at 7. Spent forenoon in room at study, etc. Answered letter. Thanks for the ice cream cone. Cute. Answered letter received from Georgia and went over to AIT. That's the Armor Institute where he works. Got back at 5. Wrote letter to Olwine after supper period, Ganser and Apparently just Ganser came up and stayed a while, went to bed at 9, early. What's Claude doing? He's jumping up on his ladder. Okay, Georgia, October 22nd. This one's, she writes so light lately. Got up at 6:40. Helped with breakfast and dishes and other work. Went to courthouse again and Papa's office. It might be actually something business related for her dad, not wedding related. On an errand. Wrote a letter. Helped. May I ask what you do for your day job? I'm an elementary art teacher. 642 days in a row. Oh, 640. Woke up at 6:40, 2 days in a row. I'm like, what? Oh, October 22nd is your birthday. Annabelle, hold on. Takes me a second to tab over to where I need to go, but you get a special surprise. Happy diary birthday. Woohoo! I always feel so silly doing that when I'm all here by myself. I know you guys are here, but I'm just sitting here by myself going, woohoo! But happy diary birthday. So special. I made a mistake in got. Thank you. Helped. Where? Her last name is Newton. Georgia. Her full name is Georgianna Newton. Helped with dishes. Went down to P.O. Sewed all afternoon. Helped. Hi, Dodo. Cute username. Helped with. It actually reminds me. Some of my students. I have a few students who are obsessed with dodo birds. And they'll try to work it into any art assignment. Like, can I add a dodo bird? Can I? And I always say yes, of course. But it's just funny. What a cool job. Do you want to be a history teacher someday? No, this is just a hobby. I always want to be an art teacher. That's what I went to school for. That's what I'm an artist too. So, hey, Carly, good to see you. Yeah, this history thing actually came around later in my life. I've always liked history like this, like finding old things and figuring out who they belonged to and finding the history behind them, but I never really dove deep into it like this until a few years ago. Helped with supper and dishes. Worked on bags again all evening. I feel like that means she's packing. Went to bed at 10:45, or she's making bags because she's been making things, but worked on bags. Just sounds interesting. What an amazing job. Thank you for teaching the artists of tomorrow. You're welcome. Thank you. It is a fun job. It's exciting. Especially with the little kids, because they have so much fun and they're very creative and they aren't squashed yet, their creativity. Clear. Got up at... No, her family didn't own a jewelry store as far as I know. Got up at 7 after breakfast. Shaved and went to 9:30 class in survey. Studied 10:30 to 11:30 and came back to my room. Went to AIT at 2 and got back at 2:30. Studied and wrote till supper time. After supper, Ganser and E. You guys can help me with that one. E.B. Wilson. Ah! He wrote a letter to E.B. Wilson like a long time ago. And I guess now E.B. Wilson is back in his life. Maybe we can find a picture of him finally. Because he said he wrote a letter to E.B. Wilson, but he didn't say to where, so there was no way I was going to be able to find the guy. But if we have we know he's in Chicago right now, we know he's around AIT, maybe he's living in Chicago or working there. Went for a walk with E.B. and he offered his share of Dakota Farm cheap. Got back at 10. Went to bed. Okay, so we also know that E.B. Wilson owns a share of Dakota Farm. Interesting. If we find diaries at thrift stores, can we send them to you somehow? Yes, that's actually how I got these diaries. Someone donated them to us. So, yeah, I'll happily take any diaries. For sure. And you can just, if you have anything, you can reach out to me. And we could do, like, sometimes people send me the physical diaries, but we could also do digital if you wanted to keep the hard copies. The goal usually is to send the diaries to descendants after. So with the other series we did, the Weatherman Diaries, we successfully returned those to a great-grandson, which was really cool. So that's always fun to send the physical copies off. Because otherwise I'd have way too much stuff. I already do have way too much stuff, like in my collection, but if we never got rid of the diaries, got them moved on to their rightful owners, then I'd just have an endless collection. Helped with breakfast. This is Georgia again. Dishes and other work. Helped with dinner and work. Another way to get involved if you did have a diary that you wanted help going through, reading through, or researching is I have a Patreon account. So you can subscribe to the Patreon, and there's a special Discord channel server thing for only diary detectives, my Patreon supporters, and we go on there and we do video chats, meetings together to research together, and we also do like Discord chat, like typing kind of research also. All right, Auntie came up. I went downtown with her. I found really old postcards in antique stores, and it was fun reading the vacation updates. That's cool because it's like a little snippet. And I like how postcards have the picture of the place, and it's so neat reading that stuff, isn't it? It's just something about it. Like a snapshot from someone's life. I went downtown with her. Hitched up team for her. Went down town on errand for Grandma. Oh, helped with supper and dishes. I've got about 10 more minutes before I'm going out for dinner. Worked on fancy work. And Ian will hold me to that time because he gets really hungry. And he was like, I'll go pick it up before my live. And I said, no, I want to go with you. So we bargained, and I have an hour. 7 o'clock. Worked on fancy work. Went to bed at 10:30. Hitched up team, like a team of horses. And the only reason I know that is because she said it before. I can zoom in for it so you can see too. But yes, hitched uptown would make sense too. Like they went uptown. So I definitely get where you're coming from there. But she hitched up the team of horses. Georgia's very good with horses, it seems. Okay, hold on. Am I... Yeah. 23rd. We're getting through a good chunk of October. Oh, her fancy work is her embroidery. It's another word for that. Back then. My grandma saved calling cards from her high school dances. Oh, cool. Oh, and you found them after she passed. Are you talking about dance cards, or what is a calling card? Or is it the same thing? Yeah, I know. I'm loving the pen, too. It makes it a lot easier to read. Got up at 7. Went to 8:30. My friend... Yeah, dance cards. That's so cool. My friend... one time we were going through her stuff in her basement, and she has this old trunk with all stuff from her grandmother, and her parents had her very late in life, so her grandma was, I think she was born in like 1913 or something crazy, and she had saved dance cards and stuff from her high school. My grandma was a bit of a hoarder. That's what someone's going to say about me someday. But it's really cool. A dance card. Oh, what's a dance card? A dance card is when girls used to go to their, I don't know if it was always like a school dance, but any kind of dance. I don't know when they were used, but I know Anglesey used them in the 1917 diary and probably up until like I'd say the 50s. Maybe that's just a guess, but we could look it up. Basically, it would say all of the dances that were going to be at that event, and then the men would sign up for dances. And it was like scandalous if, at least in Anglesey's time, because she mentioned this, if one guy was like on your dance card too much or like more than all the others, it was like a, ooh, what's he doing there? When were dance cards used? From the 18th century through the early 20th. Okay, and sometimes into the 1930s. I don't know why I thought they were maybe used up until the 50s, but 1930s. You had to dance with different guys, yeah. And they made sure of it. They made sure one guy wasn't getting too interested. All right, got up at 7. Went to 8:30. Oh, and in Bridgerton they use them, right? They walk around and they used to have, if I look it up, you'll see probably, they had like little chains. I guess that looks like a pen attached, a pencil. That's kind of funny. They'd have like a little wristlet, like you could put it on your wrist. I wish I had the 1917 diary down here. It's upstairs, but Anglesey actually included a dance card from one of her dances she went to. I wish I had it. I could go get it before I leave, but I'd have to run upstairs and leave you guys all by yourself. I could call Ian and ask him to get it. My assistant. Okay. Maybe we'll finish, what are we on right now? We'll finish Ralph's 23rd. I don't know why he writes it like that. He just does. I have no idea. But it's definitely the, what is it? The Armor Institute of Technology. Maybe because the institute is like the second word. I don't know why he has it lowercase. Went to 8:30 class and got back at 10. Wrote letter to Georgia and went downtown to see Ed about land deal. Oh, another clue. Oh, that's awesome. Another clue about E.B. Wilson. He's been a mystery for a while. His name's Ed. Edward Wilson. Took dinner with him and talked it over and closed the deal and came back. Received letter from Mama. It's funny hearing him say Mama. Usually it's her. And went to AIT. Spent time from 2 to 4 in arranging of instruments on 5th floor, which the dean, Professor Raymond, is it Dean or Dear? Which the something Professor Raymond complimented one. Oh, the case of instruments. Yes. Arranging case of instruments. I guess that's his crossing of his T. It's very, what's the word? I don't know. It has a lot of personality. On the 5th floor, for which the something Professor Raymond complimented one. Complemented one. I don't know. Yes, it's flamboyant. Yes, yes. Complemented R. Yeah, I think it more law professor Raymond. Dear. I would think dear. Oh, complimented me. Yes, thank you. That's, yep. I will look, actually, yeah. I'll look in the yearbook. Because he'll definitely be in there if he's a professor. Raymond. Oh, there's a lot. Okay. Monroe Raymond. Principal of the Scientific Academy. Howard Monroe Raymond. No picture. Okay, hold on. Why can't I get a little bit... There's like a lot of little dots here. 31. Principal of the Armor Scientific Academy. There he is again. There he is again. Okay, maybe his picture's on this page. Yeah, Professor Raymond. Okay, that's good because we have him now. A picture. I'll put him in here. And I will link it because otherwise I will never know where it came from. Yes, they got engaged. Hold on, I was reading. Okay, Dean works for principal. So, the dean of Professor Raymond? Unless he's the dean of some... Yeah, I don't know. Someone said, have they gotten engaged? Yes, they got engaged a few days ago. Ralph asked her parents for permission and gave her a ring. And he's associate professor of physics also, this guy. Howard Monroe Raymond. He does a lot. Okay, and then that's random other Raymonds who go there. Now, who else was I going to look up? I'm going to see if E.B. Wilson is in there. Wilson F.N. Wilson J.P. Wilson H. Wright. Wilson... Nope. 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 No. No. Nope. Not him. Okay. Those, I know, the slanted pictures are hilarious. It's funny, like... Okay. I guess I should probably go in a couple of minutes. So, I want to find Ed Wilson. That's cool that we have his first name, because he was mentioned, I'm pretty sure in the 1901 diary, Ralph wrote a letter to E.B. Wilson, or maybe it was earlier in this diary, but it was a long time ago, and we never figured out who he was. So it will be cool to finally find him. Yeah, okay, cool. So there's definitely some mentions of E.B. Wilson in Chicago. Let's see. What's this? Oh no, that's not, I don't think him. That's so sad when they use language like that, but okay. Bank clerks. Possibly. I don't know how we would find out. Could still be him. That's true. They were, actually. Every time we've come across something, Ralph and Georgia haven't let us down, so that's nice. I think E.B. Wilson might be a kind of popular name. How could we know Professor E.B. Wilson here? Chicago University and Professor E.B. Wilson of Columbia. I don't know how we could... We would have to find him and, like, follow his life and see if that's the same guy. This is... what I'm searching right now is called newspapers.com. It's a subscription website. So, yes, it's a website, but you have to search. Are you having a couple weeks off TikTok over Christmas? No, I'm going to come on next Thursday. And I even said maybe I'll pop on to do some research or something during the week. If I do, I'll post it on my Discord when I'm going to go on. So definitely, if you have Discord, I have a free one that you can join that's just for announcements and me sending, like, when I'm going live, I'll say I'm going live tomorrow or today or whatever. And then I also have the Patreon Discord. That's like the more in-depth one. But yeah, I'll probably pop on once or twice. I don't know, maybe I won't read through more pages, but maybe I'll like catch up on some of this research. But then again, I don't know, that might be boring for people to watch, but especially if people don't know I'm going live and it's just like random people coming in here like, what the heck is she doing? I think searching the farm with the owner listed would be most helpful. That's true. So it was Dakota Farm. Oh, I was looking from 1900 to 1910 also. So that was not helpful. South Dakota Farm. Dakota Farms. This is North Dakota. Yeah, we're going to start to just get any mentions of North and South Dakota. Maybe there's something like with them mentioning, nope, that he got some of the, that he like bought the plot of land or something, or Alright, you looked up Wilson on Google and it came up with a really famous scientist. Edmund Beaker. Oh, hold on. The zoologist was mentioned. Hold on a second. Also, look. He's from Illinois. This is the same guy, actually, that was coming up because it's zoology and Columbia University. This is the same guy that we've seen articles for, definitely. I don't know if he's the same guy that Ralph was talking to, but that would be interesting. I wonder, we should look at, let me just see for a second, how, when he mentions Wilson. E.B. Wilson. So he wrote a letter to E.B. Wilson, didn't tell us about what. Received a letter from E.B. Wilson, didn't say what. That's a different Wilson, I think. Different Wilson. Georgia's talking about Wilson's. Yeah, so he just writes letters to him. Let's see if in the 1901 diary if he mentions him. I can't remember. It might just be from the 1903 one. Let's look up Wilson. Dinner at Wilson's. That might be the other Wilson. Okay, so yeah, it's interesting. There are some connections. I'm gonna write that down then, though. Wait. Was his name Edward? Edmund. Okay. Because it's Ed. This might be him. It's Ed. Which I thought Edward, but Edmund fits Ed just as well. Ooh. Oh, that's cool that if this is the guy he knows a famous person. Okay, let's see if any of these things line up. He was born in Illinois. That lines up. He graduated from Yale. He was a lecturer at Williams College, I can't read. This is my state, and I can't even say it. Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, and a professor of biology. He was elected as a member of the American Philosophical Society. Okay. He was America's first cell biologist. Can you imagine if Ralph knows America's first cell biologist? In 1898, he used the similarity in embryos to describe phylogenetic relationships. Wow. Oh, that is cool. In 1907, he described for the first time the additional or supernumerary chromosomes, now called B chromosomes. All right, I don't see any, like, how would he know Ralph? Okay, so now let's look up the full name in 1903 and see, is he a, I mean, is like even before 1903, but Edmund Wilson, 1903. Let's just see if he's around. Edmund Wilson, someone's attorney. I don't know if that's him. I saw him mentioned. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't go by Edmund, though. Edmund Beaker. Yeah, I thought he would be a similar age, too, but I don't... There was really no reason why, other than just assuming that, like, he's sending letters to his friends. He doesn't really, like, tell us who he is. I wish he said, like, sent letter to this place. This is newspapers.com that I'm searching on. I gotta go soon. Ian's probably at the top of the stairs waiting for me. Okay, E.B. Wilson, 1903. Okay, hold on. Did he say wrote letter to Ed? Okay. He's selling him land. Oh, hi, Kitty. I didn't even know you were there. Come here. Well, come here. They never get to see you. This is Basil. Wait, where's my camera? Basil. She's terrified. I didn't know you were there sleeping. I thought I heard something. When I heard Kitty moving around, I was like, oh, he's not there? I thought it was Claude. It was Basil. Let her cook. That's funny. Okay. I should say that to him. Do you know Mark Rebier? Let him cook. I should start saying that for me. Just let me cook. I'm just getting started. Okay, anyways, what was I doing? I was trying to look up E.B. Wilson. It's something we're going to have to go back to. But maybe we can prove that that is the same E.B. Wilson. Ed. Okay, so I'm going to be on next week at 6. Maybe I'll come on a little earlier since I'm on my break. Oh, wait. Hold on. Actually, never mind. Yes, I can. Because we might have a brunch that day, but it's brunch, so that's not going to interfere. I will be on next Thursday at 6 p.m. as usual. I will update into the Discord if I'm going to go live in extra time. Yeah, it could be Edgar also. I'll write that down. Or Edward. Lots of options here. Yeah, so hopefully I'll see you guys a couple of times next week. We will see. Yes, I have 2 Discords. Technically it's one, but like there's a separate level. So the free Discord is on my link tree, and that is just a place where I send like I'm going live today announcements, things like that. It's not very like interactive, but then there's a second tier of the Discord that's kind of like an add-on. So my Patreon subscribers get like a full-fledged giant Discord that we actually interact and have video chats and stuff like that, and we research together, and they share their projects, and it's much more like personalized. So if you wanted to join the free Discord just to get announcements, feel free. There's a lot of people on there who every week I say, hey, I'm going live. And if I go live in extra time, I'll send it there. It's kind of like the only place where I have control over what notifications go out. And then I also make live event schedules on TikTok. So right now, if you go on my page, it says like live event today at 6 p.m. But if you click on that, it'll say next, or it should say next week's too, hopefully. If anyone wants to test that out, because for some reason It doesn't appear. Oh, it does now. Okay, I had to refresh. So if you click on it where it says live event today, it will also show the one for December 26th. Then you can sign up for it, and it will hopefully send you a notification. But some people say that it doesn't, so that's why I also do it in the Discord. But anyways, I'm going to go get some Five Guys. That's where me and Ian are going. We've been craving it. So it was good to see everybody. I'll see you next week. Happy holidays, because it's going to be after Christmas that I see you. So hope everybody has a good holiday. Yeah, I could come back on. I don't know if I will, though. Going to hang out with Ian. I haven't seen him in like 4 days, so he's been traveling. He's back now. All right, I'll see you guys. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, happy everything, and I'll see you before the new year, so I won't say Happy New Year. But I'll see you guys next week. Thank you for everything. This is always so fun. Good night, everybody.